Here's how to get booked on easy mode. What's up, folks? I want to talk to you very quickly about a little thought that I had earlier on in the year. I mean, I've been coaching DJs for a while, and the traditional way you could see DJs thinking, let me know if you felt the same, was, you know what, let's make a nicer line than that. You're worth more than that. The traditional way I seen DJs thinking was, okay, over like a 3 or a 5 year timeline, yeah, I'm going to try and make this whole DJ thing work, but I don't expect it to work right now. I don't expect my career to blow up straight away. It's going to take time. I accept that. And you would see everybody thinking over, you know, let's say a 5 year timeline. I think maybe it'll take me a couple of years to get good at production. Maybe it'll take me a couple of years to pick up. Maybe I'll have to do the networking. And hopefully over that time, you know, my career will grow. And I mean, to be honest, we all know DJs that are going way longer than that and still don't have any of the traction. So it was a slow process. You know, even at 5 years, maybe you get traction, maybe you don't, but everybody thought that way. You know, we're in it for the long haul and it's going to take a while. There's going to be no quick results. And that really played out with bookings. I mean, if we look at, this is traditionally how I've been teaching bookings over the last 10 years and really where the opportunity for you lies today. If we think of like a 3-legged table, that's really the way we taught bookings. You need to have all 3 legs in order. And if you don't, you fall over. Your whole booking strategy falls over. So let's call this your bookings, okay? There's 3 key things that we always got DJs to get in place. And if you got them lined up, if you got all legs in place, your table was rock solid and you were booked out, okay? And if just one of them was wrong, everything went to shit, okay? The first thing was the hit list. Like getting a list of places that you know are right for you to play. Like you could find the venues, you could go on RA and you could look at similar artists to you and you could see where had they toured for the last 5 years, you know, who was booking them. And slowly but surely, you could build up a hit list of acts locally or venues locally, nationally and internationally that were right for you to play. It took time. And honestly, there were so many DJs that worked with us for a year or 2 years that just couldn't get their head around it and just never got it done, you know? And so that was hard. The other thing was the chats. Like you can call it outreach, you can call it pitching, you can call it, you know, trying to get yourself booked, whatever. But really, it's once you have that hit list of venues that are right for you, that are booking acts of your sound, it's having the chats with them. It's reaching out. It's seeing, will they book you? And if you were going to reach out and have the chats, you also needed the third wheel in place, which was content of some kind. Because if you're unknown, if you're not doing anything, if there's no way of seeing if you're the type of artist they want to book, well, they're never even going to reply. You're going to get ghosted. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about content, people are like, oh no, content again. But really, everything every successful DJ has ever done has been content-based. If we think about like releases, we talk about, okay, we got to get our releases right. Well, that's just content. That's music, isn't it? And why are bookers booking acts off the back of the releases? Why does that matter? Well, it's because when they had those releases, it would spin off loads of plays. You know, you would see lots of other DJs playing it in festivals, in clubs, and that was being distributed. You know, that content was being distributed to that audience. And so the content went out into the world and built up awareness. But you were also getting like radio. So if a release went well, it would get radio. It would get press. And so it was going out into the world and basically getting audience, you know? That's what the releases did. They created that attention around an artist, and where the audience goes, the bookings flow. That is the cheesiest thing I've ever said, but it's also true. Also, like before the releases, so I mean, releases is, if you're a DJ and you want to get booked, you probably had it somewhere in your head that my strategy needs to be get my releases sorted and then I'll get bookings. Or you're not producing and you know that you need to produce in order to release, in order to get bookings. So like that's been the accepted strategy for time now, okay? Before that, mixes. Like you could have done compilation CDs or you could have been a DJ only and got booked off the back of that. That was a strategy as well. And in more recent years, YouTube, artists that have blown up on YouTube, that's got your attention. And so really, whether it was releases or it was mixes, they are content, you know, and the things that come from them are content. But the thing is, they are also hard. Like we can all release, but to get a release that's picked up and to get lots of plays, that's hard. We can all do mixes, but anybody that has run a SoundCloud account for the last 10 years knows you upload the mix and quite often, unless you really hammer it, it's crickets. You know, it's hard to get plays up there. And so the three together, I mean, if you haven't got your content right and you've nothing really to show a promoter, it doesn't matter how good your hit list is. When you reach out, your chats are going to be hard because they're going to check you out and they're going to say, look, we've loads of options when it comes to bookings and, you know, there's no reason for us really to book you. And so between the three of these, building a hit list was hard, doing anything content-wise was hard, and then because of that, all your outreach or any of your chats with bookers was also hard. Now, we did get around this inside the program with, there's ways that you could build content, and like piggybacking was one great way of doing it. So our workaround was to get artists inside the program to piggyback other people's audiences. One way of doing that was radio syndication. So quite often we would get artists to do their radio show and then get that radio show and syndicate it to radio shows around the world. And so all of a sudden you have one radio show that's syndicated to, 20, 30 stations in 10, 20 countries. And all of a sudden, this is an audience that of various radio stations that you can then use as leverage. And so you're piggybacking on other people's audiences. We had ways of doing this with press. And then also in recent years, you can build an audience on YouTube pretty easy if you do the right things. If your mixes are hot and you're running the right growth engine. So we could do that as well. And if there's a bit of an audience on YouTube, it worked to get people booked. But again, it's a lot of work and it was pretty hard, okay? So all in all, like what that meant was, why are we doing all of that? I mean, why are we messing around with the releases and the mixes and the radio syndication and all of that when we know the most attention anywhere in the world right now is where? It's always on socials. Everybody's on socials. Even if you're not on socials, you're on socials. Promoters care about them, bookers care about them, labels care about them. It's the main marketing strategy. We all know that. Whether you like social media or you don't like social media, you fully understand that. That's how festivals do their promoting. That's how events do their promoting. That's how labels get their audience. Okay? But the problem was socials were hard for DJs, and that's really the truth. For the last 10 years. The only DJs that had a big following on socials were the big acts. If you were a big act, you had big socials. Whereas if we flip it to 2025, you'll see Solomon pop up in your feed all the time, mate, I'm sure. But it'll be very rarely from his own account. It'll be from another account. And so things have flipped, okay? Because of the algorithm. I mean, the algorithm it's changed. It loves DJs now. It loves music. Up until 2 years ago, how many DJs could you name that weren't touring DJs or international acts that had grown a big following? It didn't really exist because, I mean, what could you upload as a DJ up until recent years? You were trying to, people were doing gig content, or you were shouting about your releases, or you were documenting, or you were showing, it was hard. If you weren't a touring act or you weren't an up-and-coming act, it was hard. You didn't know what to post. And the algorithm really wasn't rewarding your content, If you had, let's say, 10,000 followers and you uploaded content, maybe 10% of your audience might see it, or maybe 20%. That's the way the algorithm worked. Now it's interest-based socials. It's like the TikTokification of the feed. So you might have 10,000 followers, but your content could easily be shown to 1 million if it's good content. And so if the content is right, the audience can explode. That opens up a massive opportunity for you, and it changes the whole way we look at this, okay? Because now what we're looking at is, instead of 5 years, if you take 30 days on socials, right? And you post every day, okay? One post a day. One post that the algorithm wants. You might be saying, I'm already posting every day. I mean, optimize it. The algorithm tells you exactly what it wants. Inside the Edits app, inside the analytics in Instagram, it's telling you, optimize for the 30 seconds, optimize for watch time, optimize for your CTAs, get the payoffs right, all of that. If you get the format right, okay? And you do it once a day for 30 days, compounding that consistency and training the algorithm, well now, literally within 30 days, it can explode. We've just done this experiment. We had one woman that did the program. Did the system. She had 500 followers when she started, and 4 weeks later, she had 20,000 followers. Average views were between 100 views and 500 views when she started, and now the average views are between like 8,000 and a quarter of a million. And that's just giving it what it wants, and giving it what it wants every day, or nearly every day, okay? And so what happens because of that is, socials were hard, socials become easy. Because guess what? Now, all you have to do to succeed on socials is DJ. Just do the thing that you wanted to do. Celebrate music, find new music, share new music, make mixes, perform. Do what DJs do. Now you can just do that. Fuck the TikTok dances, fuck the trends, all of that. You just get to DJ, and the algorithm rewards you with an audience, right? Now, because of that, these other two become easy, right? These work better. Your hit list works better and your chats work better because you're going to have better content, you're going to have better socials, you're going to have a better audience. But at the exact same time, AI comes in. And now, whereas the hit list used to take weeks and weeks if you actually did it, now we have an AI that does it. It just asks you what type of artist you are. It asks you what type of labels you want to sign for, what type of event you want to play for. It builds you a persona, and now it builds the hit list. And so what used to take, weeks, now takes 1 hour. The agent goes off and it builds it in 1 hour, and boom, you've got your hit list done. Locally, nationally, internationally, you can do as many of them as you want. You can do them for labels, you can do them for partnerships, you can do them for festivals. It'll get the owners of the festivals, it'll get the bookers, it'll get their Instagram, so you can slide into their DMs, it can get their emails, it'll get the whole thing. And so because of that, now the hit list thing becomes easy. And we've trained an AI agent on 10 years of training, 10 years of scripts, 10 years of outreach, so that we have Booking Agent GPT that'll tell you exactly what to say. It'll help you with your replies. It'll brainstorm exactly like a booking agent would. And so where you might have waited weeks to send outreach beforehand or to know the right thing to say, now, literally within 1 minute, you can have the right answer, and you're ready to go. You've got the perfect pitch, you've got the perfect outreach, you've got the perfect follow-up. You can feed it your own emails, your own DMs, and it will tell you what to say back. And so because of that, chats become easy, right? Chats now become easy. The outreach becomes easy. And so we've got the three all working. The socials are easy. You can grow content. You can grow an audience putting out content that you're proud of, just music that you love. You can get the hit list ready in 2 seconds. You can have a booking agent GPT to brainstorm with you on what to say next, and you can tweak it in your own way. You can tweak it, so that, and have the final say, but it makes it easy. It makes it effortless because it's done for you. You can just change any bits that you don't like. And all of a sudden, this 3-part system, 1, 2, 3, just becomes easy, okay? And so my thought was, at the start of the year, how about if we take this 5-year window and just crank it down to 30 days? And the fully booked program that I've been teaching for all of these years, where normally you'd get an act in for a year and you'd work with them for a year, how about we get them in for 30 days and then run it as a challenge. So that rather than just teaching them, you did it with them while they were inside the program. And so they're learning as they go, but they're also taking action. And so traditionally, you'll end like a month-long training thing, and you might know a little bit more. But this time, you'll know exactly what to do, and you'll have done it, and you'll have the results in the back. That is what Fully Booked Launchpad is all about. If you want some more info on Launchpad and how you can join, you can take part and do all of this with us, we kick off another group this coming Monday. The link is in the comments below if you want to check out the details for how you can join us and get involved. And aside from that, let me know in the comments below, out of everything that we've just run through here, which part was hardest for you up until now? Which part did you struggle with up until, the current situation? Was it the finding venues to reach out to? Was it actually reaching out and having the conversations? Or was it the content side? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.